All right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, whatever time you are watching this. This is Grace, and welcome back to Checking Out Majors. Today I have a special guest with me. Would you like to briefly introduce yourself?
Sure, Grace. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Ben Skipper. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Biology. I'm here to talk to Grace about biology and all things cool.
Yeah, he really likes birds, guys. He's an, what is it called again? Ornithologist? Ornithologist. As y'all know, I say this like every time I'm on air. Even when I'm playing music, I'm like, I have this little segment where I just give bird fun facts. I mostly forget them, but it's something right. I do. But where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from a small town in Alabama, Abbeville, Alabama. You're forgiven if you haven't heard of it there, but I was born and raised there, and then I went to college at Auburn University in Alabama. And then at the first chance I got, I took off and left with dreams of heading to the Rocky Mountains, but I actually stopped short in Nebraska, where I worked for a number of years with grassland birds, and ended up earning my master's degree there, studying birds.
Awesome. What city in Nebraska?
So, the closest city would have been Grand Island, Nebraska, and your listeners may be confused that there are islands in Nebraska. It's actually named after an island in one of the major rivers, the Platte River.
Okay.
Yeah, but there I studied grassland birds during the summer, and I worked with sandhill cranes during the spring and winter months.
Oh, that's so cool. I love cranes too. That's also another one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Honestly, just all birds are my favorite. I was actually born in Nebraska, but I moved to Snyder when I was really young, so I just say I'm from Snyder. But it was Hastings, Nebraska. Yeah, that's why I asked.
We were just north of Hastings in the small community of Wood River. Hastings, Nebraska, for those that don't know, is the birthplace of Kool-Aid, and there's a Kool-Aid museum there.
Yeah, they also have the Kool-Aid days, I'm pretty sure. I forgot when that is, though. I think it's
sometime in the summer.
Okay, yeah. I've always wanted to go because, I didn't figure that out, that there was, Kool-Aid days until my dad brought it up, and I was like, wait, that actually sounds so cool. Yeah. When was the first year you started working at Angelo State?
So I after Nebraska, I moved to Texas Tech, where I earned my PhD. And then, as I was finishing up, there was an announcement of a vacancy at Angelo State, and I applied for it. And within a few months, I was moving to San Angelo. And by April of 2014, August of 2014, I was starting to get materials ready to teach my first semester.
Awesome.
So just over 10 years ago,
really?
I moved to Angelo State.
Wow. Okay. You've been teaching here for a while, then.
Well, yes, it's gone quickly, but it's been memorable.
That's good. That's really good. Do you have a favorite thing about Angelo State University?
The one thing I like most particularly is the small student to faculty or faculty to student ratio, however you put it. I attended a large university for my undergraduate. There were some 22,000 students when I was there, and you were maybe just a number in the classrooms. Maybe you were known by your name if you were a standout student. But here at Angelo State, because of our small classes, I get the chance to know all my students by their names. And I get the chance to see them semester after semester and watch them go from freshmen who maybe don't know what they want to do to launching off that stage at commencement into careers.
I do now that I didn't even think about that, but I like that too because our class numbers, they could be big or small, but I feel like the professors always put so much effort into actually knowing their students.
Yeah.
I was in a class last semester and it was a pretty big lecture hall, but I had to miss a class because I was sick. And my professor actually messaged me because she noticed. I was like, that's actually so sweet. I love that. I feel like students and professors have a really good relationship with each other, and I'm really good to see that at a college. It's really nice.
I would agree as well, and I think that's something we do here that kind of, it's a bit cliche to say, but it puts the fam in the Ram fam.
No, it really does. I feel like a lot of schools will say oh, we're a family, and then not actually mean it, but I feel like at ASU we actually are a family. It's actually the Ram fam.
I agree.
Yes. What does your daily routine look like?
So my daily routine, our three cats wake us up at 4:45 or 5 in the morning.
I love
I
cats.
feed them, which means I start the pot of coffee, then I feed the two dogs. But eventually I make my way up here to Angelo State and get to Cavness, which is where my office is. You know, grading papers in the morning, lecturing throughout the day, and then if we have time in the end, I try to work on some publications that my graduate students and I are finishing up and get those submitted. So that we can follow through with research grants and other commitments we've had.
Okay. So what time does your day usually end?
I generally am leaving campus by about 5 p.m.
Okay.
But then, there's always those days where I'm taking home a stack of papers to read or to grade, and sometimes that stretches late into night here. But it's part of the job, and I enjoy doing it.
Do you ever find difficulty in managing like your home life, your personal life, and the school life?
I do. I think some people are better about building barriers or walls between those two things, and they're maybe better about protecting their personal life. Call it the work ethic I got from my father, but I try to make sure I keep working until the job is done, and sometimes that bleeds over into personal life, and I realize I've got room to grow in that department there, but part of my life is being a faculty member at ASU and working for the students here. And so the two are very blended for me, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that.
I love your dedication. I love that. We need more professors like you. Do you have a specific goal this semester for your students?
To make it to the end right here, as we're in the last weeks here. We have lots of goals for students. Some have great specificity. Some are much broader. I think the one goal I always have when teaching any class in biology is that after you leave the classroom or you finish up a semester, you never quite see the world in the same way. Whether you're thinking about the biomechanics of how a squirrel hops across a lawn, or you're thinking about the particular pressures of evolution that led an oak tree to produce 10,000 acorns every single year, that you see the wonder in the world, the natural world, and begin asking questions about it.
That's really good. I like that. What classes do you teach? I don't think I asked you that. I feel like that's so important.
Well, no, it's fine. I teach a variety of classes. Most frequently, I teach general zoology, which is a survey of all animal life, from the sponges, which many people don't even realize are animals.
I didn't realize I was an animal.
All the way through the invertebrates, every type of worm we have, every type of crab, and finally into the vertebrates here. I also teach classes in ornithology, the study of birds, animal behavior, and then biogeography, which is the science that deals with patterns of biodiversity around the globe.
Teach a lot.
Well, I don't teach them all each semester.
Oh, okay. Oh, so there's specific ones you teach each semester?
That's right. They rotate around.
Okay. Which classes are you teaching this spring semester?
So this semester I'm teaching general zoology. I'm also teaching, it's the first for me after 10 years of teaching a section of freshman biology as well. And it's a really great opportunity and a privilege to start teaching some of these students very early on. I also teach a writing intensive course for some of our seniors as well. But that's the bulk of my semester.
Wow. Do you find it difficult, like balancing all of these classes?
Sometimes, sometimes some classes tend to, for whatever reason, occupy more of your calendar or your mental space. And it's easy for us, even as faculty, sometimes to Well, let's be honest, to forget about some things in some classes, and that's why I rely on multiple calendars and reminders
Oh, yes.
the night before, the day before, to keep me straight. But it is sometimes difficult, especially if you have large classes with large numbers of students. Grading those exams, grading those papers does eat up more of your time, which means there's just necessarily less for some other classes.
I see. For the last couple of minutes, I, of course, want to talk about the bird class that you teach. Can we please talk about
Sure.
I love birds so much. I was, like, waiting for this moment. As soon as my, like, person that scheduled you for me said that you were, like, the bird guy, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, every time I talk about birds, no one really cares. So,
You just gotta get new friends.
Exactly, I know. Like, they don't understand birds. They don't understand. But what does the class that you teach for that look like?
Yeah, so it's a 4-hour course, which means we have our traditional lecture, but then once a week we have a 3-hour laboratory. In the lecture, we survey all aspects of bird biology, including basics of anatomy and physiology, but also the ecology of birds as well. So how do they interact with the environment, feeding, nest building, mating behavior as well. We really leave no feather unturned when discussing them in class. And lab is meant to complement that as well with dissections, specimen preparation. But what I really enjoy most is teaching students ornithology in the way that I was taught, which means doing it outside. And so as often as is possible, we go on field trips both around San Angelo, especially to the Agriculture Department's MIR Center. But in April of each year, we take a 4-day field trip to the Texas coast, down to Corpus Christi and Brownsville. And in those areas, we're able to see a tremendous diversity of birds and bird habitats. For many students, it's their first foray into keeping a list of birds they've seen over their lifetime. And they get to see wonderful birds like roseate spoonbills, green jays, plain chachalakas, and just a wondrous diversity of tropical and subtropical birds that we're lucky enough to have here in Texas.
That sounds so cool. I've always wanted to learn more about birds. I really want to do this.
Well, it is a course that's open to all majors. It's not restricted to biology. There are some prerequisites, but any student that would be interested, I encourage you to reach out to me. One of the things to remember is that you don't need formal training to enjoy nature. Our library has row upon row of books about birds, and any of them are freely available for you to check out and read about some of the bird diversity and what birds do. And there are wonderful volumes published about the diversity of birds from almost every corner of the globe.
Yes, I love that, like, birds, because, like, there's some animals that are specific to, like, each state. Like, they're only found in certain countries or certain states, but, like, birds are, like, everywhere. And I love that. And they're also unique and they're so different.
Yeah,
It's,
birds
like, amazing.
birds are found from pole to pole, from the highest mountaintop to the lowest valley, and even out into the open ocean, where birds like albatrosses and petrels roam the high seas. They can be found everywhere, and that gives us a chance to enjoy them no matter where we go.
Yes, I love it so much. Well, thank you so much for talking about birds for
Yeah.
the last couple of minutes. Is there anything that you want to, like, say to your students, or do you have any advice for people that want to pursue biology as a major?
Well, what I would say in terms of pursuing biology, or really any other thing, is find what you're passionate about, find what you're interested in. There's an idea, I'm not the first to say it, that if you find a career that's something you love or enjoy doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Oh, yes,
I
I've
don't
heard
believe that. I enjoy teaching, and sometimes grading essays is a lot of work.
Yes.
But you'll certainly enjoy that job a lot more. And so pursue passion, not necessarily a salary, It'd be some advice I would give. And then closer to home, as we wrap up this spring semester of 2025, focus hard on your studies, get prepared for those final lab practicals and final exams. But remember to take care of yourself too, to take a break, to relax a little bit, go get a coffee or a hot chocolate or whatever you need to do to decompress as these challenging but necessary exams are coming up.
That is perfect advice, and I thank you so much for coming on here. You are amazing. I specifically like you because of the birds, but also, like, I just feel like you're so dedicated, and, like, I think we need more professors like you. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Of course. Thank you so much. And that will wrap up this episode for Checking Out Majors. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day.